this morning. I've been working on my 16-foot Henry O fishing boat. And what I've done, I needed a little bit more tongue length where I didn't have to back my truck wheels in the water so much. And this tongue was made so it could be moved forward. I had to cut the old bolt out. It was completely corroded to the point I could not get it out, and I finally had to just cut it out. So I got to do a little bit of touch up on my galvanizing right there. But anyway, I moved it forward about 10 inches or so. And hopefully that'll help a bit with launch and retrieval. If not, I'll move it. I can move it one more hole forward and still be reasonably safe with it. I had to relocate that locking mechanism there, and I also had to relocate the winch stand here and my wheel, my jack stand, and I had to pull my electrical wires further forward. Luckily, I had enough slack in that for that to work. And right now, I'm working on changing out rollers. I've got the front one changed all except for my little retaining nuts that have to be driven on the end of the shaft. So I've got to go try to find a couple of those. Don't have any here. And then I'm in the middle of changing the middle one back. You can see it's pretty well shot. And I'm gonna replace it with a 12-inch of the, I don't know what you call this type, but anyway, they seem to be a little better and don't mark up your boat so bad. But I've got a bunch of these where I repurposed the trailer. So I'm gonna knock these off and take all this apart and put in new U-bolts. Got some new bolts over there. So that'll go up there. And that'll make it back to where it loads centered better and all that. Also, I did replace my bolt up there with a galvanized bolt. The lock washers and all that. So just trying to get it in a little bit better condition. Got a little tiny solar trickle charger hooked up to the battery to top it off, and I'm going to be putting on a Lowrance fish finder, depth finder, GPS shortly. Put it on this morning. A little bit cool early this morning, but it's turning out to be a beautiful day. This old stuff is just so corroded. I'm just using my Sawzall with a carbide metal cutting blade in it and just cutting everything loose because they're so rusty you can't get them out. Can't drive them out. The rust has expanded inside this and it's just all wedged in there, so you really kind of can't get them out. I'm just using a heavy floor jack and some blocking, cribbing, and jacking the boat up just a little bit where I can replace the rollers. I had to jack it up a little bit to get that roller back there in place. So I had to block up the back of the trailer too so it wouldn't just pick up. Well, first time having this boat out this year. This is April the 20th or 21st. Haven't really done anything to this boat other than get the motor running. I've still got stuff to do, like rebuild that little hatch lid right there. That's just one I stuck on there temporary till I can get one made. But she runs good. I've got a little bit of teak trim to replace around here and there. And I need to put in a new glove box right there. And I need to put in my little hatch lids here and here, just from plexiglass for there and there. And right now I'm using a 6-gallon remote tank back there, which is fine, but it has a 40-gallon tank that goes under the floor. It's got pinholes in it, a couple of pinholes in it from where it was foamed in. I've got to get that either repaired or get a new tank made. And I don't have any electronics at all. Don't even have a depth finder, don't have anything. But hey, it's still fun. It's still something to get out on the water on, go fishing or whatever. I did install some trailer guides, and with my lights up high where they be out of the water, and they work pretty good. And I did get my Lowrance GPS fish finder thing connected. There's the transducer. It's got the, I think they call it a 3-in-1 transducer. It's got a down shot and a forward-looking sonar and water temp and all that kind of stuff. There's the other guide there. That has, helps a little bit with loading. And I did get this installed. This is a 7-inch screen. This is an Elite 7 Ti2 model, and got it all working. Got my lights working. I had to do a little bit of replacing some wiring stuff. Got my lights working. I bought this second hand, like I do most things, but it's just about like new. And down here I put in a battery switch and a lithium iron battery down in here. And I've got just ran cables underneath the floor and back across here, and that way I can wire all my accessories and have a separate battery from my starting battery. Like I said, I got my nav lights working. Just piddling on it a little bit here and there. I picked this boat hull up today. This is a McKee Craft. It's 17.5 foot, 7 foot 4 inches wide. Nice wide boat. This is, I guess you'd call it a bay boat, or certainly a decent little boat. I recently had one just like it, except for I had the offshore fisherman version, which is basically the same hull. It originally had dual consoles, and I'm going to turn it into a center console and basically make it like the offshore fisherman. Got a little bit of fiberglass work to do, and I got to patch up a whole bunch of holes, but it should make a pretty decent little fishing boat.